What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe and lick off the bell. So, as you might have seen at the start of this video, this right here is an elite exclusive deleted video. You best believe Sky, DAZN, Eddie Hearn and Team AJ, they sweating right now. Yeah, this video the most censored. They tried to, listen, 100%, they tried to delete this video. No doubt. That's what they did do. Yeah? This right here's a leak. So, you've seen it. Someone from AJ's team was going ham with a white towel. Now, I've looked into the regulations. And the regulations actually state that, if you remember correctly, the term isn't throw the towel in. The term is waving the white flag. Waving the white towel. I guess you could call it throw the towel in, but either way, the term originates from, I believe, from wartime. When someone waves the white flag, you wave it. There was no ring. You don't throw it on the floor. You have to wave the flag. 100%. That's when someone's conceding. Now, obviously, in boxing, it's kind of evolved into more of a physical aspect. Why? Well, it's more obvious for the referee. The referee's concentrating on the action. So if a big wet white towel twats him in the face, it's a lot more obvious than some Donny on the outside waving a towel. Now, what I believe's happened, from speaking to people close to the situation within AJ's team, from what I've heard is, their plan was, obviously, their man's rocking and rolling in the corner. So what they were trying to do is essentially create a controversy, in as much as they were hoping the ref would stop the fight, at which point they would claim, oh, no, we didn't throw it in. He was just doing some madness kind of thing. You know, them one's there. That's what I'm hearing he was trying to do. They were trying to save AJ by waving the flag. And then, if the ref had called it off on some technicality, they would have claimed, no, we was doing some encouragement signal. Now, people may be thinking, well, what's the advantage of that? Well, the advantage is, they get the fight stopped, and or give AJ a break. Because even if they were to restart the fight, it only had 5 seconds to go. So in that controversy, in that time period, AJ, of course, would have had time to recover. And undoubtedly, if they were to restart it for the last 5 seconds, it was going to be fine. He would have been recovered. Although, I guess you could argue, well, what if a referee calls a fight off, is not the fight off? If the referee perceives that the towel's being waved, then the fight's off. So I'm not really sure. That's what I heard. I heard that they were trying to half save him and half... They're one of them ones. Because they could have, of course, just threw the towel in. But what I do know is, I've never seen someone doing the most with a towel like that before. So if he wasn't throwing the towel in, what was he doing? Because that was some vish. That wasn't no. It wasn't a case of, well, YB, he was holding a towel in his hand. No, my man was doing the most with the towel. He was doing some next momentum move. So I can't work out what role would that play otherwise. If, let's assume they weren't thinking nothing about throwing a towel in, what would that be doing? Explain it to me. And in my opinion, or from my point of view, what adds to injury, or what adds to the veracity of the claim that they were likely trying to wave the white flag is, it's the timing of it. Fair enough. If AJ's team was seen throughout the fight doing that madness with a towel, oh, well, he was trying to cool AJ down. You know what I mean? One of them ones, some madness like that. Then we'd see it periodically. Is it a coincidence? Just as AJ's on the ropes, rocking and rolling. I've already told you, man. I had to turn away from it because I thought, wow, he down bad. He about to get knocked down by a cruiserweight. So if I was thinking that, and I wasn't even in the arena, I wasn't even seeing it, what were they thinking? And like I said, is it a coincidence? You tell me. Is it a coincidence he started doing that madness when he was on the ropes, rocking and rolling? I don't think so. This for me it makes perfect sense, and I don't believe my sources would make it up. Is it a coincidence? This man starts doing the madness when AJ's looking rocky, and my sources tell me that they were trying to kind of save AJ on a technicality after the fight. Oh well, no, we didn't throw the towel in. No. Essentially trying to change the result back to a point decision loss. In saving AJ at the same time. It's almost like that saying. It's better to be judged by 6 than carried by 8. They'd rather try and overturn the stoppage on a technicality that, we didn't throw the towel in. The referee miscommunicated what we was doing, than it is to have AJ be splattered by a cruiserweight. Because who knows how much damage psychologically it would have impaired AJ. Bearing in mind, people, AJ and his team thought they won the fight. I exposed it. AJ, after the fight, he was shocked. He left the ring immediately after. He thought he won. 100%. He thought he won. I mean, Rob McCracken was heard telling Eddie Hearn afterwards that, I think we just nicked that one. I think we just nicked it, he said. 100%. So bear in mind that. These people are thinking, well, if we can just get to the final bell, we're going to get it on points. Yeah? So if we do this madness with it, because in their mind, if they've won the fight, all they've got to do is get to the cards. They know for a fact, if U6 stops us, we've lost the fight. That's a fact. That's what has happened. There's no change in that at that point. So at that point, when AJ's on the ropes, rocking and rolling, what have they got to lose? Nothing. They must ensure somehow they can still stay in the game. And I also heard that on that note, it wasn't actually Rob McCracken doing the waving, which again adds to the claim, or adds to the thing I was told, in as much as someone within AJ's team, some lesser individual, was told to wave the flag, at which point, if the ref had seen that and pulled it, they could say, well, it wasn't head trainer. Number 1, we didn't throw the towel in. Number 2, it was some random third guy. That there's the referee's mistake. So it's on him. Needs to be changed back to a points loss. Or it needs to go to the judges' scorecard, which from their point of view would have been a win, but obviously as we know now, it would have been a loss. Either way, a loss on points is better than a TKO stoppage. And either way, it don't make no sense no other way, does it? What, you thought some random Donny in the corner doing the most with a towel? I've never seen that before. It makes no sense in any other context. Waving the white flag, trust me, my man was waving it. Yeah, he stayed waving it. So interesting here. You know what, I might just mix this in now as well. There have been some claims that AJ, because this kind of could link to, I've heard some stories that, it was something to do with the timing system. Apparently, that white flag thing was a signal to the Eddie Hearn Don, to the timing Don. Before every fight, Team AJ, tell timing people, listen, if we end up in trouble, we're going to wave a flag and to cut the timer. That could also be it. If that makes sense. We're going to wave the flag when we need the early bell. If you see us waving a flag, that's a signal that we need to be saved by the bell. Yeah? We need a quick bell. Rather than a 10-second bell, we need a 5-second bell. That's what that's going to signal. But unfortunately, that was just another allegation that I heard from someone close to the situation. However, it makes me laugh. A lot of people have been propagating this narrative that, it was only... The clock was short. Well, guess what? It makes me laugh. You know me, you know the YB. The YB is the number one don when it comes to conspiracy. But for conspiracy to exist, there actually has to be uncertainty. Guess what? There were no uncertainty to do with the timing thing. All you've got to do is start your stopwatch at the start of the round and stop the stopwatch. And for me, it came bang on 3 minutes, 2:59 at the most. If you know what I mean, it's a bit, 3 minutes it was, bang on. It certainly wasn't 2:55 or anything mad like that. So that's been completely debunked. Which leads back to the original theory, which again has been corroborated by some of my insiders inside AJ's team. Yeah, I believe the second or third man was the guy doing the most with the towel, trying to get it on a technical. No doubt. Either way, this right here is an embarrassing situation to report. If you'd have told me 2 weeks ago that after the fight I'd be sitting here debating how AJ's team had to wave the towel and try and do some technicality madness to stop getting KO'd, I'd have laughed in your face. In fact, I did. People was telling me, "Oh, YB, Usyk gonna play with AJ. Usyk gonna stop AJ at will." I laughed at them, man. I said, "Listen, you're drunk. You don't know boxing if you think Usyk can do anything." And now look at me, sitting here, analysing how AJ's team was down so bad they had to try and win the fight or not lose the fight by TKO by doing some madness technicality. Flag waving. Wow, it's bad. Wow, Team AJ are down bad. If you, man, let me tell you something right now, Team AJ. If you, man, spent less time thinking of mad conspiratorial ways to save your Donny and more ways of training him properly not to lose, rather than doing his technicality rubbish, if you, man, spent less time conspiring on that rubbish and more time investing and more time not at the Olympics, not being a part-time trainer, not doing juggling, not doing swimming flumes, you know what I'm saying? He might not have been on the ropes for the last 30 seconds. Down bad.